Damn, I do look like fucking. I'm about to rob Kevin McAllister's house. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Home Alone. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Noonchi Podcast. Bobby and Danny are here. It is a rainy day today. It's starting to get cold. This is the morning where I woke up and went, ooh, I should start wearing clothes to sleep now.
Yeah.
I was
layering up, you mean? You should layer up?
No.
At home?
When I go to sleep, I'm still in, as the Koreans call it, pants mode.
Yeah, BYC mode.
Come on, Uniqlo.
Has Uniqlo taken over your life? BYC was, for those of you that don't know what BYC is, BYC
is Korea's Fruit of the Loom.
Yes.
Korea's Hanes, you know? But
we know about it even as Korean Americans growing up. We had BYC in our house somehow. Because
whoever traveled to Korea those times, like now now it's face packs and socks. Before that, it was those tighty whities with the fucking holes in the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're all BYC.
Yeah.
And so
now it is socks. Yeah, it is socks and face masks,
right?
Yeah.
Face masks. Anyway, so it has been quite an eventful weekend for both you and I.
Yeah.
For those that are watching on YouTube, Bobby has all kinds of shit on his face.
I don't think you can see it at this distance to the camera. Yes. Maybe I'll go up closer.
No, you don't have to.
It's okay. Yeah. It actually looked a lot worse than this. I don't know. For those of you that have gotten your moles removed, you'll know.
Removed?
You'll know that when they put these little patches on your face they're skin colored and they're like jelly formed. And what it does is it traps in the pus that your body makes to heal the wound, which like it's basically a wound, right?
Right.
And so that pus has healing properties in it, so it traps it in. So I need to keep this on for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I think you could see some of them. They're actually starting to look like white mounds.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a few.
Yeah. There's a few, but like the first day, I had to wear that for 3 days in a row without taking them off.
So you don't have
I got it on Friday. You can wash your face. You can do anything. Like they stay on they're pretty tight on your face, but then it's hard to shave. That's one thing. But by the third day, they were just basically all white, and it looked like I think I sent the photo to Taesan.
Yeah,
and he had the best comment on it. He says, "Whoa, you look like you just got VX gassed."
Yes. So Bobby, you. I mean, last week you said that you were going not just to get your moles removed, but you had your annual health checkup.
Yeah.
And everything.
Friday, I had this epic day of just hospital after hospital after hospital. It started early in the morning where I went to go check up on my nose. We talked about it last week. And because my deviated septum, the PM came back. And sure enough, he put the camera up there and said, "Oh yeah, it's come back, but not fully." So he says, "Let's wait till May and look at it again." I'm just like, "But I can't breathe as well now.
Yeah.
Can we just like cut it out again?"
Yeah.
Because they actually said I don't have to pay for it.
Because they fucked up, or
I don't know.
I don't know if they fucked up, but like because it's not healed, it's kind of like you have a lifetime warranty of if you get.
Well, what he said is it's common that it does come back, but it usually comes back 3 to 5 years. But I've only had it a year. It came back after 6 months. Right. I should have went then.
Yeah.
But he was like, it's not as bad as it used to be. So let's just try medication for now. So he gave me a bunch of meds and like nasal spray. And I'm doing that, but we'll see.
Do you have to do that shit where you like shoot water through one nose and make one hole and come out the other?
Yeah. It's like you do that after the surgery for like a good month or so.
Yeah.
It's like a neti pot thing.
Yeah. By the way, dude, like, because I saw you do it at work.
Yeah.
I was taking because you did it in the bathroom.
Yeah,
and I was taking a piss, and I saw you do it, and I went,
lunch.
"Yo, that is fucking disgusting."
Yeah.
What came out of your nose?
Yeah.
Like it's worse than like it's the worst thing I've seen come out of a nose.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It was my first like legitimate surgery in my life. And so I remember I talked about it back then, but I thought they were going to put me under. Most people get put under, and I was waiting for I don't know. I thought maybe they're going to put drugs in me.
Right.
And I'm waiting there. I'm on the operating table. Yeah. And then I hear the saw. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I can't do anything really because I have this thing covering my face. I can't see anything. And they just started going, and I could hear everything being cut away. And then they break your nose back, right? And they broke it, and I was like, I nearly passed out. I was freaking out. It was like the worst experience ever.
They broke it, but then they put it back crooked?
So they break it and then they realign it or something. But you could hear it, like they put like a wrench in there or something. And then I could hear them just like yanking it. And then I heard the crack. And I was like, oh my gosh, they just broke my brain. I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, I went back on Friday to get a checkup, and they were like, yeah, it kind of came back. It's worse on one side than the other. And then, so I did that. And then thankfully I didn't have to do anything that morning. They just gave me my meds. I went straight to the body checkup, the full body checkup, where it took 3 hours. I had to go room after room after room.
That's long.
Doing all this stuff. I had to urine sample. I didn't know what my wife signed me up for. I just know I wasn't getting a colonoscopy, and I was like, I'm game for everything else. That's fine. So at one point, I go into this one area, and there you have to lay down on your side. And then she's like, open your mouth. And she put this thing like in my mouth that made it impossible for me to speak or anything. I was like, wait, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know, and they stuck a needle in my arm. And I was like thinking, all right, what did I sign up for? And then next thing you know, someone's waking me up. They're like, oh, you can go now. And I was like, I realized I just got a endoscopy. Like, so they put a camera down my this way, not the other way. So I got that. And then they were like, you can leave. But I was like, I can barely walk.
Right.
So I sat down on a couch for a little bit, and then they let me leave after that.
There's an old K-pop dance, right? Where the dance move is, it's a girl group or a girl.
Yeah.
And then they have this hand motion where their two index fingers meet from top to bottom like this.
Okay.
And she says, baby, one more time. So when people go, I get the health checkup, I go, do you get the baby one more time? They go, what's that? It's like one down.
The endo and the colonoscopy.
They're like, oh my God, that's old school. It's a very old school song, but they're like, that's hilarious. Anyway, so.
You know what else they told me? They said I might need glasses. I never wore glasses all my life.
Why don't you just get LASIK?
So it's not that bad. They're like, well, it's like a 0.8 in each eye. But then I was thinking, you know, they didn't give me warning that it was an eye test coming up next. They let you keep your phone. So I'm reading my phone the whole time, like waiting in between these rooms. And then next thing you know, they're like, okay, it's an eye test. And I'm just like, I look up, my eyes are blurry because now I have to see a certain distance.
Yeah, but then just because you're on your phone and then you look up, if it's blurry, it doesn't mean you have good vision.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Just,
right.
And then on top of that, like glasses here are super cheap.
Okay.
Unless your brother owns a frame company, so frames you can get.
But the problem is, like, even he knows this. Like, their frames don't fit on my face because I have the crooked nose. So now, if I do have to get glasses, then I have to get that nose surgery, you know. And they're saying it's going to cost me $3,000. like because insurance won't cover it. So if I get the nose surgery, they straighten it out. But like I'm gonna go in May. We'll see. So maybe I just wear a pair of glasses. Like
wait, so if you wear glasses, like literally, like it won't fit right because.
One is look at my look if you look at
I know your nose is crooked, but I've never. I mean, there's plenty of people who have crooked noses.
Yeah, you can adjust the what do you call the pads?
To
make it straight. Yeah, sure, I can do that, I guess. But I don't want to. I don't know. It just seems like imbalanced. If I do that, I feel like I'm gonna. Have you seen The Jerk with Steve Martin?
Yeah,
I
see you once a week.
Motherfucker. Anyway, okay, I'll look into it. I think I might have to get glasses, but I want to get a proper vision test, not at a full body health place.
You know what though? The way they like, if you go to like the optometry here, or the eyeglass joint here, it's the same test. Is
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what they'll do is they have like the machine where it's like fucking what number do you see? Which one do you see better? This one or that one? This one or that one? This one or that one? Right? And so.
Well, I want to do it with someone if you know any optometrists that will just be straight up with me and not looking for a new customer. Because if I go in and say, hey, I don't know if I need glasses or not, they're going to just be like, you need glasses. Here, buy this, this, and that.
Because these cost
I don't want that.
$40.
Oh, okay. That's cheap.
Including the prescription.
That's cheap.
Super cheap for like compared to back home.
Back home, how much would you pay for
100, 150.
Oh, it's that much cheaper.
Yeah.
Damn. That's why people buy shit here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why.
That's another thing Korea has. Why is it cheaper?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And usually in the States, it's not like a one-day thing.
Yeah.
Literally, if you go in the afternoon, let's say you go at 1, they'll be like, come back at 3, and you have your glasses ready for you.
Oh, really?
With the prescription done. So I don't know if they do a great job, but I mean, obviously I need glasses because I can't see clearly far away, like letters.
So when you need them for driving, for reading.
Yeah. So when I don't wear glasses, I mean, especially here because I don't drive, I don't need glasses.
Okay.
Because when I'm driving, like I'd be like, oh, that's that street name, but I can't see it from afar until I'm right up on it, right?
I see. Okay.
But here, I don't really need to do that.
What about when you're intimate with someone in bed? Do you wear glasses?
Of course not.
No?
Yeah.
But can you see them clearly?
I don't know. No, and that's better because I don't want to see them not enjoy it.
You wanna put that part of it make it up in your own head.
Yeah, it's blurry. I'm like, oh, I guess she's liking it.
Stupid.
It's interesting, man. I had a very randomly eventful weekend.
What? Randomly?
Yes.
Meaning it wasn't planned?
Yes.
Okay.
So, kind of backstory. A friend of a friend goes, hey, or actually, a friend was like, hey, my Hyung, who's running an art exhibit, wants to do stand-up comedy at his art exhibit. And I was like, what? All right, that's going to sound weird. But anyway, I went to the art exhibit. I'm like, can't do any fucking jokes here, right?
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
I was looking at the place, and I was like, "There's nowhere to do stand up here, right?
No one's gonna pay attention.
Right.
At an art gallery, no matter even if they had a stage, no one's gonna pay attention.
And it was like the Banksy Seoul exhibit, right? So so that's even more like,
they don't care about the comedy.
Yeah. I don't think they care about the art either. Anyway, so I meet the Hyung, and I've met him before years ago, and then he goes, "Oh, it's not here." He goes, "There's this venue in Chongno, but like we'll talk about it later, right?" And then we just chit chat, and I was all right, good meeting you. Thanks for the Banksy is cool, right? And then just kind of randomly chit-chatting here and there. And then all of a sudden he goes, and this was within 3 weeks, he he goes, hey, can you come to the Jongno venue right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? He's like, oh, the building owner's already building it.
Okay.
I was like, building what? He goes, a comedy club. I was like, what the fuck? What?
What?
You never told me you were going to build a fucking comedy club, right? He's like, oh yeah, they're building a comedy club right now, right? And I was like, oh.
Hey, wait. It was his idea.
Yes.
Though. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, but you said you were going to just talk about it later, but you just fucking go, you're going to build. I was like, I didn't know he was going to build it.
That's pretty boss, man.
Yeah. And he goes, I didn't know the owner was going to build it right away.
Yeah.
He's building it, right?
Yeah.
So I get there and he's building it, blah, blah, blah. This weekend I checked it out and I was like, wow, it's a big space, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
And,
like big space, Laugh Factory?
No.
Like
Laugh Factory and like the improvs, those are like huge, like 300 seats
yeah.
plus. This, I think max would probably seat 150.
That's bigger than Nevermind.
No, you can seat more and Nevermind. We just kind of spaced it out because of the social distancing.
So it's similar to Nevermind.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that is big.
Yeah,
that's big. Yeah.
For Korea, I think it's big.
Yeah.
Right, for a venue. And so, this hyung, he doesn't have any experience in running a comedy club. Who does in Korea, right?
Yeah.
But then, it's like he needs my help in terms of kind of, putting the system together in terms of like the comedians, like
green room,
like what day, green room, like, what kind of necessary equipment is needed.
Right.
Like is it like 4 shows a day or is it 1 show a day or like is it all?
Oh, you're like straight up consultant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
you getting paid for this gig? Or you're just being... Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Or
my bad. I don't mean to bring up your finances.
That's the conversation, right? And it's because I was like,
you better.
Right. And then the other part that I was thinking about was like, his idea is, obviously we're not doing this club to retire off of, but the idea is to try to kind of, as he says, like, build the mecca of stand-up comedy in Korea.
That's badass. I like his attitude.
So that's his attitude, right? And he goes, on a business level, if it does well, blah, 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 we can franchise it, put it in Busan or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So I was okay, cool. And so that was on Friday, right? Randomly he calls me yesterday, which is Sunday, and he goes, hey, the owner wants to see business plans.
Okay.
And I was like, what? We talked, we were in a room filled with sawdust on Friday. He wanted to see business plans. So I met him up yesterday. We talked to someone that's going to help with the food and beverage side of the joint, And anyway, basically, long story short, within the last 3 days, I went from selling out my shows in Hongdae, which is awesome, but now it's like, oh shit, I might have to help run a comedy club soon. You know what I mean? So it's fun, exciting, nerve-wracking, but
I'm excited for you. But then there's so awesome.
The good thing about both of us, me and the hyung, is that we are not really spending any money.
Oh, there's
the owner of the building goes, I will do all the interior for you. Don't have to pay me rent. Right? We'll just do a small profit share of.
Okay.
Right?
I've heard of that.
Right. So all in equipment, everything, lights, whatever, hardware is all startup costs. Obviously that's going to be paid. That fee is going to be paid off. But
hopefully you get a good sound system. That's really important.
Right. And on top of that, like I go, look,
good lighting too.
I don't know if we're going to do like fucking like heavy metal, punk rock, like music there.
Music.
Right. But then if we can also do some sort of, light, I don't say light music, but with stuff that doesn't require crazy amount of equipment.
From my perspective, that's a lot completely different. Like in terms of what you need and all the venues I've played at, I've venues with terrible sound.
Right.
And I would never go back. Like I would rather get paid less and play at a place that has a good sound system because I sound better, I play better. You never know who's going to be there.
Right.
If you play for like I used to just say yes to everything, but if you play with a place with a bad sound system and people will judge you based on that night for the first time, or even if they're like important or in the business, you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So yeah, I'd love to like actually, if you guys talk about music, I'd love to actually like put my 2 cents in for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, like that's why those are the things I go, look, I don't know the technical stuff. Like I don't know exactly what sound system to get or whatever. All I can do is be like, in terms of shows, this is what I think Mondays and Tuesdays should be. This is what Wednesdays and Thursdays should be. Fridays and Saturdays, Sundays, whatever. Like open mic on this day. These are the 2 days. On weekdays, we do 1 show. Blah 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 blah. Here's in my opinion, how I would do the system setup.
Nice.
So. I mean,
nice.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it does better than the Comedy Haven. Yeah.
Well, if they're already building this thing, and from what I've seen in Korea, as soon as they start construction, those construction workers they build that shit fast.
So I asked. So they asked like, when do you expect to open? And the 사장님 was like, well, I mean, it'd be foolish not to catch all the end of the year crowd. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what they're trying to do. Yeah. Hit it at like mid to late January to get
January.
December to get all the totally. Christmassy, that type of joint. Right? Yeah. And so, that's nice. That's in the pipeline right now. And
damn, that's exciting, man.
Yeah. And obviously in terms of pay and consulting fees and whatnot, we got to deal with that too.
Well, it's good timing too. Now that we're doing the living with COVID and things are open, and people are more and more people are being fully vaccinated. They're starting the rounds of the chuga, or what do you call it? Like the
what's a chuga?
Well, like the additional vax. What do you call it? Like
yeah. The booster shots?
Booster shots, yeah.
One thing I learned yesterday, and I think for those that are in Korea, it's actually something you really need to know. With the living with COVID situation in Korea, I was talking to this cab driver on the way home after yesterday, and a lot of companies are ignoring the Kakao taxi app.
Why?
Because apparently there a lot of shitty things, in terms of the deals and the service and whatnot. So they are resorting to other apps. So he goes, I guarantee you maybe a portion of taxi drivers in Seoul will no longer use Kakao.
Oh, really?
Taxi.
I've been having a hard time catching Kakao taxi. Yeah. Oh, we did too last week.
Yeah. So I used another app and that one worked.
Oh, you gotta let me know because I gotta download it.
Yeah. So that's for those that are, I don't know if it's full blown everybody knows fact, but that is what the cab driver told me. I was like, yo, what the fuck? How come nobody's I can't catch with Kakao? He's like, a lot of companies are not using it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And during COVID times, because they had like the kind of dominant share, people because the cab drivers need to eat, they were just kind of reluctantly using the service. Yeah. But now that it's not, and then realize, if they're not, people need to get home, right? So if they can't catch a cab through one, they got to figure out another way to do it, right? Yeah. And then realize that other apps are having better luck. And so slowly and surely,
I didn't know I knew there was at least one other app, but I didn't
there's a handful apparently, but then the number 2 app is the one that's working the most. Right? Okay. So for those that are, they're not a sponsor by any means, but it is a UT app.
UT? Oh, UT. Okay.
Yeah. That is something that I learned due to this recent. You know what I mean? I learn random tidbits from cab drivers
Uh-huh.
because I just, I speak Korean to them because those are the only people that I have conversations with that I don't know. So like if I have a conversation with somebody that I do know in Korean,
It's limited.
it is limited.
Yeah.
Right. But then with people that I don't know, I have to try to figure out all the vocabulary words I know.
Yeah.
And then I get to use more of them. So, yeah.
Okay.
So for all you guys that live in Korea, Kakao taxi, you're going to get left in the cold, especially with the weather being all cold and shit.
Yeah. It's like getting much colder. So the rest of my hospital stuff, I basically went to the dentist after that, and they try to. Every time I go to the dentist here, they try to get me to spend more money, right? Beyond the poem, beyond the stuff that I'm there for. And so they're saying I need all this work. I got to spend like $3,000 out of pocket for stuff that's not covered by insurance. I'm just like, my goodness. It's like menbung up the wall. Like, and then I left there, got the moles removed. And then the doctor there noticed I was getting a bald, like I have a bald spot. And he's like, you got to get that fixed or get it. I was like, he's like, you got to get shots for that. And I was like, he's right. Cause I did it for the last time I had bald spots. I went to go get a shot for the steroid shots in the head and my new bald spot. I guess I didn't even know. So that was my full 5 hospital day thing. I'm on all these weird meds now. I'm mixing meds. Last night I mixed 2 packets of different meds, and then I literally had the weirdest sleep of my life. It was so weird.
Like dream wise or
dream wise, and also I woke up at like 2 a.m. Thinking it was 7 a.m.
Ooh.
Like fully refreshed. But then I knew I didn't sleep enough. So I was like watching Netflix until I fell asleep again. And it was weird. It was just really weird. It was like good drugs that make you pass out.
And now you're fucking tired
and now today I'm tired because it's like I didn't get it proper, I don't know, sleep. But anyway.
Well, we were discussing what should we talk about. And I remember last week after we recorded, I don't know, maybe it was because both you and I were buzzed. We were at Rush.
Yeah.
And then we had wonderful conversations about sports, which I never have with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at a certain age, I feel like you just said, fuck it, not interested in any of it.
But I was big into sports when I was younger.
Right.
And I really haven't talked about it since.
Okay, so maybe the question is, what stopped you from caring about sports? Like
music.
So, but like, you can't enjoy both or...
No.
Oh, you went all in on one and said, fuck it.
I literally used to just skip watching games to practice guitar.
Wow.
Yeah. So that and Bible study. I was really into church. And I know a lot of, you can still be into church and sports, but for me, it's hard I can't multitask. So at one point I just stopped watching sports and stuff, but I would always watch the World Series because the Yankees were always in the World Series.
Were the
when I was in high
Yankees your
school.
team, your baseball team?
Yeah. I've been to like a handful of games in my life. I don't even know how many. But
so I don't want to make this a theme, but last week we talked about the Mount Rushmore of musicians in our lives. You know what I mean?
I remember I couldn't believe I didn't mention Elliott Smith. I was like, afterwards I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I how did that slip my mind? It's such a big influence on me. But anyway.
Yeah. Because they call you the Korean Elliott Smith. Asian Book. Anyway. So when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
What were some athletes that like made you bug out?
First of all, it was, I mean, even before Michael Jordan or like, it was Don Mattingly of
Donnie Baseball.
Yeah, Donnie Baseball of the New York Yankees. First baseman. He was like, he was I was like obsessed with him as a kid. And I remember the first game I ever went to was the Yankees versus the Kansas City Royals. And his first up at bat, he got kicked out of the game. I was like, oh fuck. I was like
That's hilarious.
He's like, but thankfully that was a doubleheader.
Oh wow.
So I got to see him play again in the second game. But then I was like, what the hell? Man, all my life I wanted to see this guy play. And he fights with the ump on like a bad call on a strike. And it was weird seeing your hero, like you can hear them swearing and stuff. Like
from the audience,
from the audience,
or what about you? Did you were you that close to hear Don Mattingly cursing?
I think I could. I was pretty sure I could see him swear, or even hear it. I was pretty close though. I was right behind the Royals bench, but it was close enough where it was close to the dugout actually. So we were pretty close. The other thing I remember about that game was I saw. You remember George Brett?
Yeah.
He was like the star player for the
Royals. Yes.
Right? And so, you know, there is like this is the first time I was at a game and saw like Yankee fans be Yankee fans.
Yeah.
And there was this one guy who was just being I thought he was being like respectful to George Brett. He kept yelling out for like a good like few innings or something. He's like, hey, Georgie, welcome to New York, Georgie. Like he kept yelling all this stuff and nothing negative. Right. And then basically I realized what he was doing when George Brett finally just turned around and waved. He was just like waiting for him to respond because George wasn't responding to all the positivity. Say, hey, Georgie, welcome to New York, Georgie, like really loud. And finally he turns around and waves at the guy. He's like, fuck you, George. And everyone was like cracking up. But George Brett looking straight as like gives him the middle finger. It was so like as a kid, like I think I was in like third grade or something, and I was just like to see a professional ball player give the finger was like so like amazing to me. You know, because they don't like highlight that they don't do the replay on TV for you, like that stuff.
It's funny. Although, like, you know, I don't know, like because there's fan footage or footage of like let's say like a basketball player is running from the locker room to the court, right? Yeah. And then it'll be like, hey, fuck you, James Harden. Or, like I've seen moments where the player will stop and tell the security to remove.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they'll kick him out.
Like, I don't know where I stand on this because like I like shit talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then to what point though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Malice of the Palace.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel for the
innocent people that got knocked out.
Like, I actually kind of feel for the athletes because there is a like as a paying fan that has entered this stadium, arena, court, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like sometimes there's an entitlement. It's kind of like talking shit online. Yeah. You don't expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
But then, someone, fucking came through it, And so I don't know. I don't know what the line is.
Yeah. Like that whole thing with Ron Artest jumping into the stands. Yeah. Like I felt bad for him. Yeah. Like he probably didn't get the right people. Yeah. But still.
Oh, he definitely didn't. So, someone threw like a beer at him, right?
Yeah.
And then he punched a guy with beer in his hand. but you know what I mean? So I think Bill Burr describes where he's like, my beer, boosh, boosh. so
Yeah.
you know, and then on top of that, like as when I was a kid, I would even consider like pro wrestling a sport.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's a
Oh,
show.
we
right?
were obsessed with it. Yeah.
I rest in peace. One of my uncles, he passed away this year. Fucking sad ass story, but I don't need to get into that. But he ain't got no kids,
Okay.
right? And my uncle, knowing that I liked wrestling,
Mhm.
took me to the LA Sports Arena for a WWE match.
No way.
Not a pay-per-view thing, but
Yeah.
like, you know, those like they fucking they have shows every weekend, right? It's
Yeah.
all over the country, right?
I never knew, like I've never been to
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah.
But I've never even heard about where they were having it or
Yeah.
whatnot. So
The sports arena
Thank-
used to be where the Clippers used to play, but
Uh-huh.
not anymore. But so here's the thing though, like he got the seats that were like right where the wrestlers start running out. You know what I mean? And on the bill was Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, my favorite.
So I stuck my hand out and Warrior fucking with his crazy steroid roid rage fucking
Yeah.
smacked my hand and like went through right as he's
Oh,
running.
he smacked your hand.
And I, as a kid, I loved like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
I loved Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, me too.
You know, like I loved all the good guys.
I love drawing them.
Yeah, and I hated the heels. The heels are the bad guys, right? You know, like, but as an adult, have you ever heard, you know, like, so they call it wrestling promos, right?
Yeah.
Where they
come out and they say, next time I'm
Yeah.
gonna get you, Hulk Hogan, next time and then
Yeah.
next Saturday. Like
now
WrestleMania.
I mean, we talked about this before. I don't think
Booker T.
Yeah, the Booker T one, right?
Yeah.
But as a kid, I thought like Ultimate Warrior was like so cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But as an adult, I've listened to his promos.
Oh
back
man,
in
I'm
the
so
day.
curious. Yeah. He was almost like
He's
demonic.
no,
No?
I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Oh really?
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then there's usually a guy interviewing him called Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah,
Tall guy
Mean
with the
Gene.
mustache. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does Mean Gene
Know what he's saying?
like continue this interview? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's scripted though, right? So
Oh.
he's probably
Yes.
aware of what he's trying to say.
So like if I consider wrestling
Yeah.
as athletics or whatever,
Yeah.
then in my Mount Rushmore, Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
is Ultimate Warrior is up there.
You remember they had the video game at the arcade?
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
The tag team.
Tag
one, right?
team thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I would always choose Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
and Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan
Mhm.
also was I was a fan of. And speaking of that sports arena night,
Hmm.
that night after the show, I was like all geeked out. Like I was like, yeah, fuck you, honky tonk. I was like 4,
Yeah,
but
honky
like
tonk
you know,
man.
yeah, but I don't like honky tonk man, right? But
What was it? Roddy Danger
Piper.
Roddy
Piper.
yeah.
You know, like Jake the Snake Roberts.
Rodney Dangerfield.
No, but like,
Yeah.
so after the show, I was all pumped up. I was like, yo, this is awesome, uncle. And then my uncle did the second best thing.
What did he do?
He introduced me to Carl's Jr.,
Oh, yeah.
but the double Western bacon cheese.
Oh, really? Is that where you went for Icha?
Yeah. And I was like, yo, what have my parents been buying me?
What were they buying you? McDonald's?
Yeah.
Happy Meals?
Like a Happy Meal or a Big Mac or whatever, but a double Western cheeseburger with barbecue
man.
sauce
Yeah.
and bacon and
That
fucking
sounds good right now,
and
actually.
onion rings. That as a kid, that fucks up your taste buds to be
Yeah.
like, enough of this poor man burger. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This fucking Whopper with cheese. Get out of here, right? You
Oh
know?
man, that reminds me. What do I do for my son? Like, I gotta basically give him that same experience.
Pororo or whatever, if he's into that shit.
Well, I mean, when I finally let him have fast food,
Ah.
like I want it to be something that I like too, but that is gonna blow his mind.
Yeah.
You know, like the problem in Korea is they always have these like new trendy burgers or whatever burger. Now they have like a mac and cheese burger.
Yeah.
It's like a chicken burger. It's like a chicken patty or fried chicken with a scoop of mac and cheese on it. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't have Carl's Jr. here. So what would I do? Anyway.
You need to go like,
Give me
somewhere like
examples.
I Am Burger or like the real burger.
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
But those
right.
are like expensive. Anyway.
Yeah.
This one is called The Ultimate Warrior Crash the Plane Promo. Right. God damn it. I should buy premium just for this.
Oh, it's like the ad. Yeah. But oh my gosh. Yeah.
Question.
Holy cow.
To answer your question.
What the heck?
Travel to WrestleMania.
Like, yo, it's too long.
Man,
It's like a 3-minute promo,
But as a
right?
kid,
Right.
As a kid, I remember eating it all up. Like I was like, damn, this guy is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
So
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior was yours. Let's say yours was Donnie Baseball.
Donnie Baseball
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
Let's add some more people. Mount Rushmore. Let's have 4 people, right? I like to go like random, but still, that person truly had an impact in my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Number 2, as an LA native, LA boy, a diehard basketball fan, I would say that Magic Johnson is in my Mount Rushmore of
Magic Johnson over Michael Jordan.
yes,
Even so,
yes,
because of the home team.
the home team. Just I did not root for Michael Jordan, knowing that
really?
he's dope or whatever. Like in terms of skill and greatest of all time, absolutely,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
I
But
don't know.
in terms of like rooting for them, like love, I cried when Magic Johnson retired. And I was like 91 or something. I was a kid, right? And then he had HIV and shit, and like from what I know, I was like, this dude's gonna die.
Yeah.
And I just cried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, it's going okay. I'm gonna, but it turns out like, he would, then afterwards he'd do like an interview with like Oprah or whatever. It's like, yeah, Oprah, like sometimes it was 4 women at a time. And I was like, what the fuck? No, but like, I remember like, going, my dad loved basketball as well. And he told me that Magic Johnson is the best basketball player you'll ever see, which is not true, but just amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have the same experience in terms of rooting for the hometown hero. Like Ewing was like our star player, right, for the Knicks, and I rooted for the Knicks and like John Starks, but I was still really. I really love Michael Jordan that much, where I would root against the Knicks just for
But you weren't a Knicks fan.
I was a Michael Jordan fan. I realized that because after he retired, I didn't really care for the Bulls. So, but I was young too. Like I think I was really into the NBA when I was probably in 6th grade. Was when I liked it the most. It's the 6th or 7th grade, but that's around the time I started playing guitar.
So that's
so
when
a little
you were
bit like But then, I was also big fans of just all the star players because I was heavy into trading cards. So I had all the basketball cards, the baseball cards. I even had hockey cards. I had football cards.
Right.
I did it all, and
hockey cards. Did you watch hockey?
I did at one point. I used to watch the Rangers, because
Mark Messier.
When they had won, I think, 2 Stanley Cups back to back or something like that, or they had one, and I got really into that next year.
I as a kid did not like the Bulls, but I did like their intro song.
The Bulls?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me go, dude, because the Lakers is very boring.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't remember what the Lakers was, but the Bulls for sure.
Yeah. Yo, when this intro is like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.
And now.
Yeah. It's the whole like yeah.
Yeah.
Arpeggiated like notes, kind of like
from North Carolina, 6'6", 23. My God, wow. No, because like if you go to a Laker game, I've been to a few Laker games. Like there is no that type of hype.
They don't do that kind of thing.
Like literally, it's like Kobe Bryant. Like yo, fire this guy. Hire someone that has more. You know,
for like Nick games, I've been in Staples Center, but like Nick games, MSG is not that big. I mean, it feels like when you're in there, no matter where you're sitting, I feel like it's close enough. It's just the way it's always felt for me. I've been to a number of Nick games as well. And the Rangers play in the same, MSG. So I've been to one Rangers game, I think. And then, anyway, but for New York being a split town between the Mets and the Yankees, like I had a lot of Met fans. I was appreciative of the Mets too, and I did root for them when they won the World Series in what was it, 86 or something? Yeah,
Doc Gooden.
Yeah, Doc Gooden, Mookie Wilson, Darryl Strawberry. Right, like I was. Yeah, I had all their baseball cards. It was a big deal to me.
The interesting thing about like. Now, what I enjoy about sports is similar to the Last Dance, right? You know, like the backstories.
Yeah.
You know? And by the way, Scottie Pippen is basically burning every bridge possible right now.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Scottie Pippen has a book coming out, and basically he says that The Last Dance should be about the team and not glorifying Michael Jordan and like and being like and basically this is what he's saying is like it's condescending and he put it out to prove to everybody that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James.
Oh, really?
Right. And like saying all this shit. He's saying that you know how if you saw The Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
You know how when Jordan retired for the first time, and then it was Kukoc and Pippen and those guys. Yeah. And there was a game where Phil Jackson called a play for Kukoc for the game-winning shot, and Scottie Pippen was so offended that he didn't take the last shot. He sat down.
Yeah.
Scottie said that was racially motivated. Like basically, he's calling Phil Jackson a racist.
Damn, he's like going on.
He is burning all kinds of bridges, right? You know?
Wow.
Yeah. But like I like the backstories of like, like shit talking. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, so do I.
Yeah.
That's
so like,
fun.
So like Larry Bird, who I also as a Laker fan did not like. If you go on a deep dive of just Larry Bird shit talking stories, it's amazing. Like there's a story about like there's 2 seconds left, the Celtics are down by 1 or 2, right? He walks up to Xavier McDaniel, who's guarding him. He says, I'm gonna catch it right here and I'm gonna shoot it and we're gonna win.
Okay.
Right? He tells him to play, right? So Xavier McDaniel's guarding him, trying not to. Yeah. He caught it where he said he was gonna catch it. He shot it, made it, and he's like, man, I left too much time on the clock. You know what I mean? Like he's always like one time he said he was bored, so he said I'm gonna play the whole quarter left-handed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The Xavier Daniels was on the Seattle Sonics, right?
Yes, he was on.
They called them X-Men.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Yes. It's all coming back to me. Anytime we talk about that era of basketball, baseball, whatever, I can talk about those years, but as soon as the Kobe years come in, I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Right.
I
so you know
detach
Gary
myself.
Payton is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary Payton, I liked because of the amount of trash he talked. And I knew when he was going, like 96 is when he played the Bulls, I think. Yeah. Right? And I was like, this dude, the way he chews his gum, as he's defending you, it's so 얄미워. You know what I mean? Like his mouth is just like it's like.
Okay.
And he's talking shit and like he's like slapping the floor and he's like, come on. And he's doing that to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love shit talkers. And there is I'm a sports, I love like when athletes do podcasts.
Yeah. I see clips on Facebook come out on my algorithm and it's a lot of those now.
Yeah.
Like when athletes just talk about like, it's perfect for podcasting.
It's the best.
It's like athletes have this like new stage now.
Right.
It's not just like on the field or on the court.
Yeah.
Now podcasting is like a great way for them to like
absolutely no. I mean, dude, like so there's one that I listen. I mean, I listen to a lot of the athletes ones. There's one called All the Smoke. Right, it's with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. You probably don't know them, but All the Smoke because they're big time weed advocates, but they were also former basketball players. Okay. Right, and they had Kevin Garnett on the show, right? And Kevin Garnett also is known to be like a supreme trash talker. Okay, so they asked him, Kevin Garnett, who was the best trash talker you've ever met? And he was like Gary Payton.
Oh, really?
Right? Okay. And then he was like, he remembers Michael Jordan and Gary Payton, but Gary Payton was the guy that usually when you catch the ball after say, so he was on the Timberwolves. Let's say the T-Wolves scored, and then they're gonna go back to play defense, right? Yeah. Now it's Gary Payton on the Sonics grabs the ball, and usually the point guard will kind of jog up to the midcourt. Well, whoever's guarding him try to guard him from as soon as he caught the ball. Yeah. So he's just backing up. Yeah. Talking shit to the guy guarding him. Then talking shit to the coach of the T-Wolves. Then telling the referee, yo, what the fuck? You need to call that shit next time. Then talking shit to the audience member because they were at home in the Timberwolves. So he's shitting on the audience like, yo, sit your ass down. You going good? Like, and then he's controlling the whole game. And he doesn't stop talking. Right. And I was like, that is such an amazing story. The second one was his rookie year when he first played Michael Jordan. And there's a basketball player named J.R. Ryder who won a dunk contest, you know? And so Kevin Garnett's a rookie, right? And you know, J.R. Ryder, it's a preseason game, so J.R. Ryder is like, you know, making some shots. Yeah. You know, and Michael Jordan's still Michael Jordan. Kevin Garnett's young and fucking has energy and he talks a lot of shit. So he's like, bust his ass, J.R. He ain't shit. He ain't shit. You know, he's like yelling, right? You know, and then J.R. is, yeah, that's cool. And then during a free throw, he's like, you could see JR talking to Michael Jordan. He's like, hey man, he's a rookie. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And because you know Kevin Garnett just keeps on talking shit. Yeah. So like Michael Jordan, like his expression changed. You know, his expression changed. He leaned over on his back foot and he looked at Kevin Garnett like, look at this motherfucker, right? And then Kevin Garnett goes, and it felt like for the next 5 minutes, all we were doing was playing defense. Right. Like he went from like scoring like a few points to like now I have 30 points. Yeah. You know? And so, you know, they, you know, timeout, they subbed them all in and they're on the bench, right? Kevin Garnett's like, hey, JR, I'm so sorry. My bad, dog. Right? And then JR Smith's like, yeah, man, it's cool. I told your ass to shut the fuck up. Right? Like so, but like that wasn't a shit talking song. That was just show like how psychotic. Yeah. But I love those stories. Me too. I love the stories of like Charles Barkley thought he was going to get traded to the Lakers, right? Because his agent said, "Hey, you're going to go to the Lakers," and it was in Philadelphia. So he goes and parties, thinking that he's not going to play the next game. Yeah. But the trade fell through, so he's hungover, and he's playing. He thought he was gonna get traded. He didn't get traded. He's hungover, and he's playing fucked up. You know, the next day. Okay. You know, because Charles Barkley, we met to Pete.
Yeah. You guys met him. I didn't get to meet him.
Oh man, dude, Charles Barkley is probably. I didn't meet a lot of. I met like Ron Artest once. Okay. You know? Kind of intimidating dude. Charles Barkley is someone that like probably my top person I would want to drink with in terms of like.
Right. I
superstar.
heard you guys drank with him.
Yeah.
Like you did shots and stuff. Right?
Yeah, and he fucking tipped the bartender like $200.
Man.
You know, gambling. You know, me and him talked about Pornhub.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, like, what kind of porno you watch, Mr. Barkley? Oh man, Pornhub. There's one called SNX. There's a plenty. Right?
Oh man.
So let's see another athlete that I think I would put on my Mount Rushmore is, I'm not a Lions fan. Detroit Lions football.
Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that is like
Yeah.
life changing. I had his rookie card, and for a moment,
So did I.
that shit was so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, rookie cards,
They're worth nothing.
I mean, with the exception of like a Michael Jordan rookie card or like a Mickey Mantle rookie card, would probably be $1 million. Right?
I mean,
But
there's still some of them are just still, even Michael Jordan cards have gone down in value, but they're still really expensive.
I mean, the rookie
but
card is like, last time I checked,
yeah.
was $100K or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet you it was like at one point the Beckett's rated it as like
Right.
500,000 or something.
Yeah.
So-
So,
But now, like like if I want to get like, I remember back in the days they had those error cards. Like,
Yes.
remember there was a Billy Ripken fuckface one on his bat.
Yeah.
At the time as a kid, I think they were going for like $500.
Yes.
And now you can buy them for like
Error cards are where
$15.
they make mistakes. They shouldn't have been printed. Like Billy Ripken, it says fuck face on the bottom of his bat, I think.
Yeah, that was a legendary one.
Right.
Yeah,
There's one, I think it was like Will Clark, where his arm
Will Clark.
wasn't it was a weird arm. I forget. During the swing, it looked like it was drawn on or something. It was weird. There's a handful
what was
of
that? Yeah.
error cards.
Yeah.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
for all you old school cats, remember baseball cards, basketball cards? Not all of them, but Topps. No. Bowman cards
Bowman cards?
used to have gum,
Gum. Yeah. Topps had gum too.
and that gum tastes like shit. Like
Yeah, I'd still eat it though. It was
very
like really
chalky bullshit, right?
Yeah. I would still eat the gum.
So I was lucky
Topps.
because I wouldn't get it all the time, but you know how my parents own a liquor store, and so they would go to the wholesale market,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So they would, like to stock up on everything.
Yeah. Baseball cards or like sports cards too.
And they would sell a whole box
Yeah.
of baseball, basketball, whatever cards, and whatever brand.
Mm-hmm.
But my parents never bought the upper deck one.
Oh, the upper deck.
I was like, why? He goes, "이건 비싸."
Oh, really?
So they would get like the shittier ones, like
Okay.
like Topps, Donruss.
Yeah, Donruss. Yeah.
Not even Fleer. Fleer was too expensive too.
Fleer was a nice.
Right. Upper deck
brand
and
too.
Fleer was more so like
Yeah.
so for it was Topps, Donruss. For basketball it was like Hoops, NBA Hoops or something like that.
Yeah.
And then for football it was Score. There was one called Score,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But those were like the Whopper brand
Yeah.
of the whatever. But then the Fleer and
Right.
the upper deck were kind of like the double Western cheeseburger of
Yeah.
of baseball cards.
I remember that.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
They had like a hologram sticker on it. and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I remember my parents gave away all my baseball cards
Oh man.
to some
Yeah.
like kid who just came from Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he don't know these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they at the time they were all worth something. That's why I
Yeah.
kept them. And I kept them
Dude.
in as mint condition as possible.
Yeah.
Like the ones like no dents.
They were in
no-
cases, and they had different levels of cases too.
where
right?
it required a screwdriver
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
undo.
Those were the really nice ones.
Yeah.
I remember some kid, my next door neighbor, his cousin had visited, and I pulled out my card collection and stuff, and this kid outright stole a bunch of my cards.
Oh shit.
And then I I told the parents and whatever, and then they had to drive back, and he had to apologize. He was crying and stuff, and gave back the cards. But I got the cards, and they weren't the card. He gave me some shitty cards, and I wanted to kill this kid. But at that point, like they weren't doing anything about it. Right. I was so infuriated. I couldn't even thinking about it now.
Do you know what player though? Like what player that he took?
Jeez.
Like, did he take someone like
this was?
It was like if it was baseball, like he got like some good card. Like
I think it was in 1990. So it would probably have been
like he stole your Ken
Mark
Griffey.
McGuire's and stuff like that.
Yeah, he gave you like a Mark McGuire. He stole your Mark McGuire or
Ken Griffey Jr. Like those cards. Right. He took those.
And then give you like fucking Omar Vizquel or
like some like shitty like
I know him, he's good, but like
this guy pulled one on me and man, dude.
And it also hurts my heart to see, like apparently they put like those kids, when you see those old movies where they put the baseball card on your bike so it makes that sound when it runs. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. It's probably like a Lou Gehrig.
What are you doing to that card?
I watch Pawn Stars for episodes like that. And like actually I had Donnie Baseball on mine, right? I wanted to also talk about before we wrapped up. We were already at an hour, but I wanted to talk about Mike Tyson.
Oh yes. Okay, so
I've been watching like my Facebook videos watch playlist. This yesterday, I just went on a binge on like boxing.
Me too.
Knockouts by Mike Tyson. But then I started watching like interviews and like I didn't know like Muhammad Ali was his hero and that he talked to him when he was 14 years old on the phone, like all these stories. But just watching Mike Tyson, like if you look it up, like top 10 knockouts by him, it's like incredible. It's like
because this past weekend was actually like a pretty big like combat sports weekend. So UFC had a big fight.
Maybe that's what
and then also the unified middleweight championship with Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant went on. But that's why like I went on a boxing binge too recently as well. But it wasn't just Mike Tyson. But what I kind of was late to, and he's been podcasting for actually a few years now.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I know.
It's called like Hot Boxing.
He was one of the first to have a podcast. I would say.
It was like it's no. I mean
out
like,
of the boxers.
Yes, out of the boxers probably. I don't know anyone else, but so like it's kind of tough to hear sometimes because Mike Tyson like. His voice and then his speech is a little bit slurred. Okay. You know what I mean? But there was an episode that like I turned on to go to sleep 2 days ago, and just I like to listen to podcasts to fall asleep to. Yeah. But I couldn't. It was so entertaining. Okay. It was and he doesn't have these types of shows often, but it was a show with him hosting. Yeah. Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and Sugar Shane Mosley, all Hall of Fame, all world champion boxers. Obviously, Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns were rivals, right? In the 80s, right? Yeah. There was 4 boxers that were like the kings, and they were all battling each other, right? It was marvelous Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, and Roberto Duran, right? And so they all had epic battles with each other, and it was like win or loss or whatever, right? Yeah. Anyway, so it's now Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns. They're in their 60s. They're old men. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Tommy Hearns, like his speech is slurred too, and that's what I feel bad about boxers when they get old because they got fucked up too much that their speech pattern gets all fucked up. And then so as the podcast is going on, they talk about their second fight, Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, and they're watching the highlights of the fight.
They watch it together.
And, right? And then it's like, you felt that? You felt that? Oh, I don't feel nothing, right? And they're talking shit. They're 60. Yeah. Right? And then like something happened. And you know what? Mike Tyson was great in this one. He was instigating a fight.
Oh,
the
really?
whole time. He's like, oh, hey man, you ain't shit, man. But and then Sugar Ray Leonard doesn't sound like he ever boxed because he speaks eloquently and clear, right? And then so Tommy Hearns is trying to say something, and then Sugar Ray Leonard goes, what are you even saying? I don't know what you're saying, right? And then Mike Tyson goes, I understood what he said. Hey, Tommy, he's fucking up your linguistics. Fuck his ass up. Right? Beat his ass. and then Shane Mosley, who's, a lot younger than all of them, he acts like he's hanging out with his favorite drunk uncles. Oh yeah. So he's barely saying shit. He's just smiling. He's just making eye contact. But he's also it's from reverence. These guys are like super legends, like OG legends, right? But that was such an the whole hour and a half is Mike Tyson going, oh, he got you, Ray. Oh, he said you ain't shit. Oh, the whole hour he is instigating, and it's like marvelous trolling. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a podcast I gotta check out.
Yeah. I mean,
my goodness.
He even had like Evander Holyfield on one.
Oh, really? And he bit his ear off.
Yeah, he bit his ear. stuff like that. It's like wild, man. He has obviously he's Mike Tyson, right? So guess like Eminem is an honor.
Oh yeah,
to be a guest on the Mike Tyson, like the Hot Boxing Mike Tyson show, right? Yeah. But to me, out of the ones I heard, like the Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Shane Mosley episode was just bananas. And you got to watch the video too, because you could see that. Watch the fight, the highlights.
They superimposed the fights.
Oh, you like? Oh, how you feel? You felt that? I didn't feel shit.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Mike Tyson. You know what? Like about the podcasting thing, it's giving not just another form of like financial gain or monetary whatever. Yeah. Like legitimately, there's a lot of interesting like avenues that people can go to.
I mean, back in the day, like for Muhammad Ali or Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle, like they only had newspapers and interviews. Like you couldn't even watch it on TV for the most part. So like this is like a great time for even like the really old school guys like that. They're older, but they can have their second rebirth almost, like to show people remember your roots. And we have a lot of stuff on footage, like let's bring it back and show the young people like what it used to be like. And I think it's cool.
Because and then and even though he might sound a little slurred, Mike Tyson, you can tell he's like a super boxing historian.
Oh yeah,
because he remembers things in the fight that even the fighters don't remember.
Oh really?
Right? Okay. Like you got him with this left hook in the 4th round, and then you went for the counter, and they're like it's almost like savant level.
Oh really?
Of memorization of other people's fights. And so it's amazing. And then Mike Tyson's wild too, and he's so open. He's like I'm the king of relapsing, so I'll be sober for like 6 years, and then I will relapse hard.
Oh man!
And then he'll go into like really dark places about like I'll masturbate thinking, like thinking about people that I know. You know what I mean? And he's
an open book,
very open, and you're like, holy shit! Like it's so open that like it makes me go, wow, like. Obviously, like in Korea, you fucking way.
There's two sides of the coin here, because like The Last Dance, I almost didn't want to see it because I had already filed away in my mind that Michael Jordan was the greatest, and he had no faults, right? But to see him, what he had to sacrifice to get there, and like just basically, it made me question my own like life. Like, would I ever sacrifice that much to be the greatest at what I'm trying to? And I wouldn't. So it's but I'm still glad I saw it.
Right.
You know, but like even for like Mike Tyson to be such an open book, a lot of people might not want to know that about him.
Oh, of course,
you know?
but you know, like that's the thing is that like.
But some people would appreciate it. Like I appreciate that honesty.
To me,
like,
the honesty, what I appreciate is the fact that it humanizes people. Meaning, like
we need that.
Like meaning, like I personally don't want perfect people to be heroes.
That's true.
Because there's no such thing as a perfect. So, like the more and more that nothing comes out, no dirt comes out, the more and more I go, there must be some crazy sinister shit back there. You
now
know
that you say it, I would agree. Too, I think
there has to be some shit that somebody's covering up, and like sooner or later something's gonna come out, right?
I like that story that Dave Chappelle tells when he's talking about like one time he ran into a friend of his from childhood who's gay, who came out. All right. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I heard you were gay." You know, kind of thing, like at the end of the phone conversation. And then they talked about it. And then he got mad at something Dave said. You're gay, man. You're gay. Like, whatever. And he's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, you people fuck funny or something. He said something like that, right? Some people,
I forget.
And he gets real mad at Dave Chappelle, and Dave is like, "Listen, we all fuck fun. I fuck feet." It's like, you know that little part, like, you know, where the feet. I make women put their feet together, and I fuck the center of that. So come on, like, and then he laughed and like. You know,
I mean,
but now we know that about Dave Chappelle, and it humanizes him. Yes, he has all this, stardom and respect.
I want to end this. I wrote it. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but for a few episodes we talked about his controversy and
about the closer.
About the closer. Yeah. Well, he finally responded in a. It was after a show. He did in Nashville, and basically, I'll read it quick, right? Quickly, but basically, what happened? Some backstory is that because of all the backlash of some trans / LGBT community employees of Netflix threatened to walk out. One employee leaked information about financials or whatever. And so the president or one of the heads of Netflix was like, "No, we're trying to have a diverse stand-up comedy selection. Like we have Orange is the New Black, we have this, we have Hannah Gatsby, we have Dave Chappelle." And Hannah Gatsby is like this comedian who she won an Emmy or something for her special, and basically goes, "Take my name out of your mess," and basically and kind of. Shat on Dave.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So after a set, Dave Chappelle goes, "It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees of Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted, although I am confused about what we would be speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how can I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. It seems like I am the only one who can't go to the office."
Right. Yeah.
"I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames it that it's me versus that community, that's not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been loving and supportive. So I don't know what this nonsense is about."
Okay.
This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States. Some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals, and now today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. He has like a documentary coming.
Yeah.
Thank God for Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He's the only one who didn't cancel me yet. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me.
Yeah.
I am not bending to anyone's demands. And if you want to meet me, I am more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end, which is very fair and true. You must come to a place of my choosing at a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. And I was like, you know what I like
ends it on a joke.
But beyond that, it's kind of like as a stand-up comedian, what I like is irregardless of where you stand on this, like as a comedian, I'm glad that who's considered the top of my field is a guy like this. Yeah. Meaning that he's not going to be like, oh, no, 너무 죄송해요. Like he doesn't grovel about it. Like he stands firm for what he believes in. And that's what I'm admiring about it. You know what I mean? And irregardless of whatever your views are, like he seems like he's rational. He doesn't seem like he's saying like, fuck you guys. Yeah. But he's saying, hey, it's not, you will not summon me. And I like that thing where it's like, let's meet at the same level. You know what I mean? And that takes a lot of balls, man. You know? And I'm glad that the top of my field is a person like this, you know, instead of a groveling, you know, spineless person. So good on you, Dave. Much respect. And you're right. And you're right. Hannah Gadsby ain't funny.
Is that the name of this podcast?
Sure. Episode? Oh, that's gonna fireworks. Yeah. So,
all right, guys.
Yeah. I don't want to call it the Mount Rushmore of sports, but
yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, we did 2 each. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So 합쳐서 we got 4.
Yeah.
And then okay. We'll take a look at it.
Right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye.